So this area from the end of the open barn and in front of what was their chicken run. We did get back to the little wall. There's a little wall in there. We did get it back to that at one point, but it's all got very overgrown again. We think there's a gateway through here. There's a big cherry tree up here, and there is a nice wild rose there, which I don't want to destroy. But all this area of bramble, I'm going to pick the berries off and then take it back to the little wall. So in there somewhere is a little wall. I can't see it at all. And then that goes round to the insect hotel. So I'm just going to cut it back as much as I can, and at some point we want to go in and open all that up and have chickens. I've got a brick wall on this side, although the bricks are very, very loose. I just pulled some ivy and the bricks started sliding out with it, so I'll push that back where it was. We've got some corrugated iron on the bottom, but behind it is wire, which looks okay. And if we look through, you can see all the brambles and roses, and what else can I see in there? Virginia creeper type thing, the wild form of it. And there's an area here hanging down. That's the wire roof. So that's a wire mesh that's just got so much bramble on top of it here that it's just pushing it down. It's got a sag to it. But once we get in there, I think that'll be quite easy to empty out.
So Barbara's up the corner there, clearing out the corner, and I'm working down this end, and there's a gap between this fenced area to the right and the fenced area to the left, so there's obviously an access way down between them. But also I've just found a gate because I've got hinges here. So this is a gate into that area that Barbara's working in at the moment. And I think I can just make out in there, through all the brush, I can make out a pot that probably was used for chicken feed or something like that.
There's a roof in there.
But down the back there is another gate. And it looks a little bit like the gates at the back of the courtyard.
That'd be great if it is. And there at the end is another gate. Very fancy one. That's where the lock would have been. And that would go into the potager. Wow. We haven't had many finds here. This is one of them. It's quite heavy metal cast. And you think it's what?
I think it's a finger from a cutter.
Okay. It's not the first time we've found those. Hello, Titchy. And just going along this side, cutting back from the wire, the lovely stone wall and brick wall has crumbled. But I'm just taking the undergrowth off here, and there's a metal plate hung up. So I'm hoping it's one of the prizes they get at the agricultural show. We found about 4 of those so far. I'm going to get that out.
Ring.
That's for tethering the dogs on to.
Maybe.
That looks like I've just unearthed the lock from the gate. Goodness me, that's old. Amazing. That's a good size one. That's from one of their Shire horses. They're heavy horses.
Barbara's managed to get the door open to the chicken run, which we think might be on cobblestones, but seems to be rather full of brambles. Are you going in there?
I'm going in. There's all brambles apart from one wild rose.
Is that halfway then? Or is that a third of the way?
This is where we got to yesterday, halfway across. Or perhaps a bit less than that, actually. It looks longer down that end. What have you found there?
20 kilo weight down here on the floor.
I brought a bin bag in to try and move that plastic tray that's disintegrating. And we think under this soil floor, which is full of roots from the wild Virginia creeper, we think that's cobblestone floor. So all of that should come up. And that's just taking the wire fence out of the middle of it. Put a fine mesh to it. Brambles. So it looks like the post should have been on the stone block. It's moved off with the weight of the roof. All absolutely thick with brambles and vines. And so we've got at least as much again there, if not double. We found a whole series of different bowls, obviously for food, and a very large weight. 20 kilos. That'll be useful.
Yeah, I'll find a use for it.
So I've taken over clearing this little passageway up. It's very, very deep with soil and roots. So what I've done is I've cleared along this edge. But I'm digging up not only a lot of roots, a lot of brick as well. There's a brick edge along there, just loose. Marks coming through from that direction behind this gate. So that's the noise you can hear. I've dug up a lot of plastic again, bricks and stone and wood, tiles, slate tiles, and there's always this sort of binder twine, plastic binder twine. It doesn't rot at all. And intrigued what this is, whether that's a light bulb. It actually looks like the Christmas decoration sat in that one. And that looks like the top of a casserole dish. But look at the size of these plants that have grown here. So compared to my hand, they're massive. So they've been here a long, long time. Absolutely huge. Just cutting the wire that's holding up the roof of the chicken run. So we're hoping it's not going to pull the stone over, the stone walls and the railings. There's quite a weight in that. This side's all been released off from the top of the railing. How are you doing?
About third of the way along.
Is it coming off all right?
Yeah, you can feel it every time I slip a bit. You can hear it.
Yeah, it's very heavy.
Yeah, it's going all right. So we've detached the roof all the way around now, and we've come to the conclusion the best way to get that lot out now is to drag it through this front side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the wire from the front here, roll it back, take out the 3 posts, and then we can pull it all out with the tractor. So I have a cunning plan. So this is the chicken compound, and all the netting now has been disentangled from the fence all the way around, this lovely fence. And what I've just done is put a couple of straps over the top and hooked them onto some of the netting. I don't know whether this will work or not, but we're going to give it a go and see if I can roll it out of the gap I made on the other side. What could go wrong?
And there it is out. How many attempts for?
3 or 4. I lost track in the end. But
Lost the well. It's
it
out.
doesn't matter, it's out. We've managed to save all the netting off the top and most of the wire that was holding it up. Now we've just got a big pile of dead brambles to get rid of. Barbara's just clearing the other side of the gate. And you can see if we can open it. I don't think it's been opened in many a year.
Opening, possibly for first time in 100 years. There we go.
Excellent.
So when we set up the chicken coop and run, we can give them the opportunity to come out here as well. We're just trying to move this huge pile of brambles, take it up to one of the fields out the way so we can clear all this flooring. Let's use the drain rods under the pile and attached a webbing to it. He's just trying to truss the whole pile up so that he can drag it with the tractor. My job is to stop the hook disappearing into the pile. There we go. It's a huge pile of brambles because it coated the entire space on the roof of the chicken run. I've been stripping off the walls of all the ivy and brambles and giving them a brush. The trouble is the brambles and ivy have gone into all the brickwork, gone into all the mortar, and consequently this end, around this end of it, that end's not too bad. But as we go this way, the mortar has crumbled because there's so much bramble and ivy in it. So Mark's going to have to re-mortar the wall. A lot of the stone on the top's broken up as well. So I'm just starting at this end and done that corner, but now I've got to remove all this so I can deal with the railings, and Mark can sort the wall out.
We've got rid of our pile of debris, and we're just working, just got the ivy off the gate post. Barbara's now working down this side of the wall. Clear it all from this side as well. And she's found a few tin cans left to us by the previous owners. All nicely buried.